Alright, up to an hour ago, I was ready to give these HiFiMans a good review, but a mediocre review. Up to an hour ago. And then I sat here and I kept going, oh, I wish this was this, I wish the treble wasn't so sibling or just... and it kept going back to the guy who keeps messaging me on HeadFi. He knows who he is because he's getting these, he wants me to autograph them, which is weird. But, he kept saying, you know, the brainwave pads supposedly help the bass. The brainwave pads, if you got a set of those, or the other newer HiFiMan pads. So, sitting here, ready to start the camera, I said, alright, I gotta know. And these are the angled brainwave pads. Those. And because of these pads, this review is going to be completely different from how I prepared this review for like 2 weeks. Because these elevate these headphones to the point of... Okay. We'll get to that. HiFiMan in their boxes. Well, the S, here's the S. Where is it? $300. This is the baby. This is the newest. Of course, their goddamn naming convention is shit because they have the 400s, the 400Is, and now the 400Ss. And that's real easy to keep track of because they're dicks. Okay. Box is cardboard. You open it up. It's got really nice packed foam. Ooh, packed foam. Wonderful. And then if you open the instruction book, it comes with, obviously, there's an adapter. Because it's 3.5mm to start. And if you look at the book, this guy right here, he's a shady looking character. I should have a scanner now. I may scan this and make that my avatar and all the things. Because that guy is awesome. You could read that if you want. You could use this adapter if you want. Box. Not a super impressive box from HiFiMan this time, but what do you want? What do you want from them? Back onto these. Unplug them for a second. Improvements. I've left the plastic here. In fact, you know what? Here we go. For the review. I know there's people who love to watch that sort of stuff. And there you go. Put those back on later. Covered in cat hair. They're identical in no, actually, no, they're not. They're not even in... These are pretty much the most different HiFiMan cans that I've reviewed compared to... in the new series. You know, from the old series to the new series. First of all, the plastic feels cheaper. This isn't the same. This is just standard HiFiMan fare. The swivel here doesn't feel as smooth, but where the old HiFiMans twisted like that, and then straight, these will go both directions now. And what that allows you to do is that. Which is amazing. Why didn't they just do that? Why did they, maybe they can't get the joint as smooth. Because of the 400Is, it only goes, you could do that or that, and that's it. So now you can collapse like that, like a pancake, which is amazing. Again, amazing. The other big change, and I think it took all of us, guys, 2.5mm, actually stereo on each ear, labeled left and right, which is unfortunate because there is a way to avoid having to label it, and I forget which pair of headphones it was that confused the hell out of me, but we did it, ladies and gentlemen. HiFiMan is starting to learn. They're a very slow learner. If HiFiMan was a dog, it would be shitting on the carpet for the last 5 years. No, HiFiMan, you don't poop on the carpet. Now, the only other build issue is if you pick it up like this, this screen is not metal, it's plastic, and that's why it like bends and wiggles where the other ones are metal. So they're going for cheap. They're like, all right, we need to make the cheap version of it. because of all this, because of plastic, because of shittier, well, I'm not sure if the shittier plastic is lighter, but lightweight, like 350 grand does even, I don't even like, planar? These are planar? Are you telling me these are planar? And I don't believe it. But then you look inside and sure enough, they're planar. And you listen to them and sure enough, they're planar. Yeah, oh God. So build quality, not spectacular. For a $300 set of headphones, $300, same price as the X2s, which are wham-tacular set. It's not the most brilliant. The design is getting better. This is still, you know, these also, even the clicks here aren't as positive. They're probably using plastic pins. But, and this is a big but, they're very, very good with the stock pads. Here are the stock pads. They're slightly angled, all velour. You know, the focus pads have half velour, half thing, and those supposedly help. These are okay pads. Again, they're round, and human ears are not round, so when you go with an oval, it fits better. The problem with these particular HiFiMan pads over the other ones, like these original leathers, is this ring, this plastic ring that the pad usually goes around, is now part of it. You cannot remove this plastic ring. It's glued in place, which means when you go to add the different pads, and you are now required, people who are watching this, that you have these already, take them off your head, order the goddamn brainwaves angled, and here's the problem. Since you can't reuse this ring, you have to order a pair of the leather. So you've got to spend $25 and then $20 just to get this plastic ring. Now, if you have another set of HiFiMans, this plastic ring will just come out. Because how these work, boom, is this here. Here's the ring, and it's got 4 little clips. And you get these pads, and they just come as pads. And usually you stretch these around whatever. Well, on these, you stretch them around the plastic ring. And you got to do this slowly, or you'll rip it. And I'm just doing it quickly because video, and I've done it already. So there, once you get it in there and you can expose all the little clips, then the clips just clips on. Look, there it is. There's the driver, and there's the number of the driver. And then it's just a matter of doing, like, this weird operation for, 10 minutes. Trying to get all 4 clips, and you gotta, like, yank it to see if you got a clip. So it's, like, bend in half. So now these 2 are on. Wait, that's not even. So then you gotta, like, rotate. Oh God, I'll get this back on while I'm talking. So anyway, yeah, if you own 400Ss and you haven't changed the pads to, and I'm not sure what it is, if it's the fact that they're now leather or pleather and sealed, because these are open, these are very open, and usually open headphones react poorly when you close them around your ears. But HiFiMans have, and I could say classically now because it's done it on the 500. The HE-400 video of mine. Which way does this go? The HE-400 video of mine. That hawk? I tested those with the Alpha Dog pads. The Alpha pads. The big, you know, lamb-skinned sons of bitches. And I didn't even bother putting the HiFiMan pads back on because they sounded so amazing. And then I got another set of HE-500s sent to me that had normal pads on it. And I listened to them and they sounded good, but not as good. So now I've got a set of 400Ss sent to me. And they sounded good. But now it's not as good. Wow, this is a pain in the dick. There you go. Not as good as when you put these pleather brainwave pads on. See, wasn't that operation easy and painless? So I was comparing to the X2. Let's get back to the X2. There is a hawk out there, and I think it's trying to get me. I think these are better sounding. Now here's the thing about the X2s though. The X2s are crazy fun cans. Like the soundstage is just blown well out of there, and the bass is really strong. Now these needed these pads to get the bass up from levels where I would be upset with it. With these pads, the bass is like acceptable, but now it's good. And then with these pads, the highs, the real shrilly highs were sort of getting to me, and I was like, all right, sibilance is taking place. Well, what do you expect on the lowest end headphone? And with these pads, it's pretty much gone. So this is another headphone that is almost there when you get it. It's so close to being there, and then you do this, and then it's there. Now we're there. All right. And look how well they fit, actually, once you do get that plastic ring and that thing mounted. So yeah, if you're crazy, if you believe in me, then you will buy these pads for your 400Ss. And if you want to mount these pads properly, you have to buy the... If you could buy the rings, I don't know if they'll sell them on Head Direct. I haven't looked. But the rings from those are what I'm using here. Because these rings are fucking solid, you bastards. Bastards! That's a cost savings thing, I'm sure of it. But at least they give you a good cable. And it's a short cable. It's another 4-footer. 4+. Yeah, it's like 4'8". And it ends in a decent connector that you can actually unplug and plug back in without a fucking wrench and an engineering degree and patience. Where I had to like half spin the thing. This is the same material. This is decent. Metal's the same. This definitely doesn't sound the same as the 400 or 560. Soundstage. All right, I'm talking about sound in like a very, very emotional way and not in a scientific, boring way. Let's get on to the actual statistics. With these pads, the bass is excellent. It's planar bass. It wasn't planar bass with the stock pads. The mid-range is up front and in your face, which means vocals are up fronted in your face, yet the soundstage is still better than normal. Better than a normal open set of cans because, again, planar. And they do this all with it weighing nothing. If you've owned any of the older series, the 400s or the 500s, and then you get the 400Is and you go, oh, wow, those are light. Forget that shit. These are light. These are some of the lightest headphones that I've ever considered good. They're half the weight of the 500s. Easy. I don't even think they weighed those and listed the weight. These weigh nothing. I was sitting here practically crying to goddamn... Yeah. Bon Iver's, the one you heard playing when I was like answering it. Why you no make sound go? Oh, because you're unplugged. Oh, they're easy to drive too. I'm just all over the place with like this amazing discovery. This is the excitement I get when I first get headphones and they're good. And I usually don't film reviews when I first get headphones because I would just be talking and drooling and shit. So the fact that I'm here. Ooh, these clips suck. You gotta like bend it back, get it in there, and then hopefully it sticks. Yes, they leak. So short cable with an angled adapter. Again, just like the 400Is. Are these designed for outdoor use, like to carry around the street? And they shouldn't be because you can hear right through them. So unless everyone you're with likes your music, don't bother. Yeah, these have been elevated. Elevated is the word. I was sitting here for an hour and a half just now with these new pads and they're going, what do they do? What do they do? How do they make better? How do they make it so much better? And They just did. They just made it. They just made it so much better. So I have nothing else to say. These sound better than the X2s. The X2s are more fun with, I can't even say wider soundstage now, because I used to say, oh, the X2s at least have the widest soundstage. But now these, with these pads, and again, I'm not sure if you'd be benefiting from going to the velour style of this, or if the pleather's doing it, or they have a hybrid one that's velour and pleather, and I don't know if that would be beneficial. They're all like $25 a piece, and I'm not spending $75 to try all three pads. For $75, I could buy another set of headphones. Probably the Philips. Yeah, these are we're above the price bracket that the SHP 9500s have dominated, which is basically $200 and under. Like the headphone that switches from the Philips are the best is the AKG 7XX. And then once you're above the 7XX, then you get into the X2 and now these. And I would love to have tried the 400Is with these pads and seen what it did, because the improvement that these cushy bastards give to these is just insane. I want Rocket League tournament. Just got a message on Steam. It's gonna be a Rocket League tournament at the GXL that's coming up. See you all there. I'm getting all emotional and stuff. People are gonna yell at me. If I could find a pair of these used for, it'd have to be $60, $70. It'd have to be the cost of the pads off. So I need the $25 pads and then the ring. Then I'd own these. These would be my planars, because they're, I didn't get excited with the 560 review because they were the same as the 400Is. And they were way more expensive. So I was just like, meh. But now these are $200 less than the 400Is. And I'm pretty sure with these pads on, they compete directly. And they're lighter. And they have the wires that disconnect. The build is not spectacular. The box is not spectacular. But the ease of driving, the 400Is weren't super hard to drive. But these are like, farts could power these. Just fart on them and they play music. So, the seal of approval is tremendous. As long as they don't break, as long as they didn't cheap out too much. I don't know how long, they've just come out within the last like 2 months, so who knows how long they'll last. They don't feel like they're just going to snap in half right now. But they do feel like they didn't use metal where you would normally. And, you know, whatever gets the cost down, whatever gets the weight down, I approve. They still look as good as all other HiFiMans. You can't judge them. And then they look even better now with these pads on it. I'm going to stop this review before I do things to them that's illegal in probably this state and many others. So yeah, 400S's. Good with the stock pads. Fucking great with these pads. The end.